How are you, folks? Jeff Johnson from the Cedar Rapids Gazette here with my much better looking cohort, Jeff Linder. We are going to call it both ways again this week, as we always do. Talk some basketball. We're going to talk high school, boys and girls, which are deep now into the playoffs, especially on the girls' side. We've got some games coming up this weekend that'll determine state qualifiers. Boys had their first real big day of or night of postseason action on Monday. And tonight, as we tape this Thursday, there'll be a lot of games tonight in Class 1A and 2A, and the big classes get underway next week. But there's something going on in Iowa City tonight, and I can't think what it is. Jeff, can you help me out with what's going on down in Iowa City tonight at Carver Hawkeye Arena?
The circus has come to town.
Caitlin Clark should. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, right?
Barring injury, she'll be the NCAA Division I all-time women's basketball leading scorer, passing Kelsey Plum. Plum's got 35-27. Clark's got 35-20. 7 to tie, 8 to break. Let the party begin.
Yes, and it will be a party. Down
it better be a party as much as people are paying for those tickets.
What did I see? $5,000, almost $5,000 for courtside the other day.
I think the most I saw was 9,800.
Woo! It's like, folks, just to let you know, my wife and I have Peacock on our TV. For a mere, say, $20-$25 a head, we'll let you in the house. You can watch. Come on over.
You're gonna have a full house. You're setting yourself up for trouble.
You're gonna $9,800. Let's put
the fire marshal's coming over. You're gonna be led away in handcuffs.
Yeah,
it's over.
So I imagine we got a ton of national types probably in the house tonight, media wise. Jeff, is that true?
I'm sure there's going to be a lot much more important people there than us mere locals. So yeah, it's I don't know who's going to be there. We'll set the scene later, but I'm sure we'll be rubbing elbows and smacking chests with some biggies.
The ESPN folk and all those types. So
well, I don't know. It's not ESPN doesn't cover the Big Ten, so Holly Rowe was over at Nebraska on Sunday. She might be back to lead off Sports Center or something like that. But other than that, I don't think ESPN has much access.
From what you have gathered, if and when she breaks the record, the game will continue on, and they'll wait. You believe they'll do a post-game big celebration with the record?
I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Bluter mentioned she'd probably call a timeout. Caitlin said she doesn't want the game to stop at the moment. She just wants to keep playing, and I think Bluter will probably honor that. But who knows? There may be amendments to this Constitution too.
Are you looking forward to seeing history?
Yeah, so much so that I'm leaving the house at 3.
Are you?
Traffic down there for women's games is it's crazy. Yeah, I'm leaving at 3. I'll get down there at by 4, and hopefully there's still a parking spot or two. A lot of people, I kid you not, people will get there 3 hours ahead of time and park their cars and just sit in their cars until it's time to go into the arena.
That brings me back to being a youth when I had an uncle who had season football tickets back even before Hayden Fry got to town. So, and
did people go to games then?
Believe it or not, yeah, they were always. I remember being there when they upset UCLA in like 76 before Fry got. It was
that was the Cummings years, right?
Yeah, and then over the years, my cousin, my uncle's son, is about my age, so he would, he'd take me to go to games with my cousin, and that we do the same thing.
Mhm.
Back then it was 1 o'clock kick,
Right.
so he'd come pick us up at or pick me up at 8 o'clock. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe even earlier. And we go down, and he had parking right next to the stadium as a
Hmm.
ticket holder and a donor and all that kind of stuff. And we'd get there, we'd be one of the first ones in the parking lot, and that's what we would do. Just sit there. He'd read the paper. For an hour, we'd sit in the car an hour, hour and a half, and then maybe get up and walk around campus a little bit. And we'd always be like the first ones into the stadium whenever the gates would open. So that's kind of what they do
Yeah.
for games, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. There may be tailgating today. I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to get a parking spot and get into the arena and find
Understandable.
something to do. Maybe I'll bring some cards.
There you go. You and Bonacamp can, you
Yeah.
know, maybe play cribbage or something like
Play
that.
some
So
cribbage, maybe some hearts.
there you go.
Uh,
There you go. Sunday. Uh, Interesting. Disappointing.
those are two
Disappointing.
pretty good words.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lose to Nebraska. What did you see?
I saw them lose to Nebraska. Um, 14-point lead, 9 minutes to go, should be salted away. They got kind of tentative. Nebraska threw a box and one at them. Iowa didn't respond well at all. Nebraska starts coming back. The crowd, their half of the crowd starts getting into it. And before you know it, it's a ball game. And Jazz Shelley hit some big shots and some big free throws. And Iowa took the flight home with a loss. And
Did they make the plane?
I'm sure they made the plane. They had
Okay.
a plane to catch. They had a flight to catch.
That's right.
We,
That's what
we
I
heard
heard.
that.
Yes.
I'm sure that with a charter plane that it didn't leave without
That was a whole other. There's been a lot of drama this winter at times, Jeffrey.
a little bit.
That was a whole other deal. After the game, obviously, with Lisa Bluter kind of.
Yeah, and I was surprised it picked up so well on people's mics. But yeah, she was madder than a hornet, and I don't know I imagine the anger was at Nebraska Sports Information. The Big Ten protocol is usually that the visiting team goes first. Um, Iowa kind of drug their feet getting in there, and Nebraska said, "We'll put Nebraska in here." And the SID said, "This might be disjointed. This might be a disjointed. If Iowa comes, we'll let them onto the stage." And I don't know. It was the funny thing to the video is just watching the three Nebraska girls go like this as everything goes down outside the room.
Yeah, it was interesting, and we talked a little bit Monday, you and I. There's a lot of pressure on this Iowa team.
Sure, there
Uh,
is.
More and this is something that is unique.
Yeah.
Um, and you wonder how much that pressure, in a situation where you see the coach blow up at Sunday and things, if that pressure kind of gets to Coach Bluter and this team a little bit. Uh,
Well, how can it not? I mean,
yeah,
the days of being 20-10 every year and being a 8-9 seed in the NCAA tournament are gone for now. And there are expectations. Fans were not happy that they didn't upgrade their roster with a post over the summer, and there turns out there really wasn't an elite post to be had, and there really wasn't room in their on their roster and their scholarship counts. But people don't understand that, and they think, oh, they got to get a post. They need to get something that's going to put them over the top next year. And I think she trusts the kids she has, and I refuse to believe that this season is going to be a failure if they don't win the NCAA championship or if they don't get to the Final Four. But I think there's a lot of people that feel that way.
You don't ascribe to that theory, Jeff?
No. I'd say it's probably less than 50-50 that they'll make it to Cleveland. They could. They've got the best player in the country. They've got a good lineup around them. But to say that to put that kind of pressure on them and say, oh, they gotta, it's Cleveland or bust. I don't buy that.
Hannah Stolke, holy cow. Speaking of Cedar Rapids girls, Cedar Rapids, Washington, 47 points the other night.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like to watch that, Jeff?
Well, Penn State pretty much guarded her one-on-one, and Iowa's got kids that can get her the ball in a favorable position to score, and well, I think she was 17 for 20 from the field, 13 to 21 from the line, and they just kept feeding her. Um, and nobody said it at the time, but maybe that's the reason that Clark hasn't broken the record yet. And that's absolutely fine. That's fine. She's going to break it tonight. And last Thursday, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday was Hannah Stolke's day, and it was great to see. She was outstanding. And people asked her afterwards, what was that like? And she says, I just had so much trouble not starting to giggle out there. So, and that's the way Hannah is. She's a lot of fun.
Good kid.
She's a good kid, and it was neat to see her have her night.
Well, have fun tonight. We'll wrap this up before you can so you can hit the road. So, should we talk postseason high school
Yeah,
basketball?
let's talk boys first. Where are we at? All the brackets are out now, right? And what's the stage here? Set the stage for me.
I will do that. We had some pigtail games in Class 1A district wise last Friday. And then we had a full first round district in Class 1A and 2A on Monday. And tonight we've got second round games in 1A and 2A, or district semifinals, however you want to label it. No real surprises. Nobody has been knocked out. That was a 1 or a 2 seed in either of the classes. You kind of look at the schedule tonight. Not honestly not a whole lot of enticing ball games, especially for the 1 seeds. Northland scored 117 points, tied the school record Monday night in a win over Highland. They've got Janesville tonight. Janesville's like a 500 team, so that should be a victory for the Lynx. Just kind of looking. Went out to Lisbon Monday night. Saw a pretty good ball game. Lisbon and Central City. Tied going to the 4th, and Lisbon ended up winning by 17. So that's a good team. It hasn't had all of its parts together. They've had a lot of injuries and things like that have kind of disjointed their season, but they've got everybody now. They play top seed Dunkerton tonight, and I think Lisbon can compete with Dunkerton, honestly. So Macocata Valley, Hillcrest Academy play tonight. That's like a 2-3. Kyoto's the top seed. They've got North Tama. Lansing Key is a top seed, and District 12 plays Starmont. And then in 2A, just kind of looking at things here. MFL Marmac and Union. MFL is a top seed in its district. Monticello plays Dartersville Beckman, another top seed. Monticello, Cascade Northeast Goose Lake should be a good game. That's a 2 against a 3. Alburnette's a top seed in 2A. Plays Tipton, Iowa City, Regina, and Wilton. Regina's a 2 seed, and then kind of look at Monday night, I guess 3A and 4A kind of get going here. Those pairings just got released on Monday, and just kind of looking through some things. Marion's a top seed in its sub-state. That also includes Mount Vernon, Davenport Assumption's a 2 seed. Cedar Rapids Xavier is a 5 seed in that sub-state, and that's a team that's right around 500 and plays all 4A. So I think very underseeded are the Saints. So that's an interesting one. Decorah's the top seed in sub-state 3. With Charles City, Dubuque Wahlert, and Western Dubuque are interesting. Others in there. Solon's the top seed in sub-state 5 with Clear Creek Manna, number 2. And then Waverly Shell Rock, top seed in sub-state 6 with that's a Western one with Nevada, the second seed. Schools like Sadell, Oskaloosa, Gilbert are also in those. And then, 4A there, you got 16 pods in the sub-states, and no real surprises. Iowa City West is a top seed in sub-state 3. Bettendorf is second. Kennedy, obviously, top seed in sub-state 4 with North Scott, number 2. All these schools get first-round byes, by the way. It'll split up pretty evenly. There's an opportunity for the CIML to get, I think, as many as 5 or 6 teams to state. Widely regarded as the toughest conference. So we'll see how that kind of all plays out. Like I said, we got first round kind of pigtailish games between the 4 and 5 seeds and 3 and 6 in 4A on Monday, and then I think we pretty much got games every day the rest of the week. So fun stuff, good stuff. Love it.
It's a good time of the year.
Yeah, my favorite actually. You got the NCAA tournament upcoming for the men and the women, and spring training. Most teams, I think, players have already reported. So, yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff.
We've got a night off girls wise in the regional tournament, which is nice because I'll be at Iowa City and you'll be hosting everybody for your peacock party.
That's right. But
BYOB,
by the way, BYOB, folks. Your $25 doesn't get you much other than access to the game. So,
all right,
I'm cheap that way.
That's okay.
But
I would be
ahead,
too.
Jeff, you got some games Friday and Saturday, right?
2A, 1A resume on Friday. Regional semifinals, which would be the equivalent of sub-state semifinals. 2A Region 1, we got Sumner Fredericksburg at Dike New Hartford. Dike's the 3-time defending state champion. We've also got Jessup at Applington Parkersburg, so that's an all NICL region there. Region 4, Maquoketa Valley is at number 6 Regina. Alburnette's at number 11 Cascade. In 1A, we got Dunkerton at number 1 North Lynn, Lansing Key at Edco, and what I think is going to be a really fun game. Key High went from 5 wins last year. Now they're 18-5, and the vast majority of those kids are freshmen and sophomores. So we'll see how that continues to develop up in the far, far northeast corner. Region 2, Class 1A, we got AGWSR, Noah Fonda, number 2. And we've got HLV going to Coon Rapids Bayard. I'm going to guess that's the first time those two teams have ever played. What do you think?
I'm going to effort that. You keep talking. I'm going to effort.
I don't think you need to effort that. I think it's set in stone. Region 3, Sigourney goes to Martinsdale St. Mary's. Mount Ayr is at undefeated Fremont Mills, which is another very goofy geographic region. Region 7, Springville's at Cal Wheat. Danville's at Linville Sully. Region 8, it's Holy Trinity at Montezuma. And then Wayne is at Cumberland Anita Messina. Saturday, we've got 5A, 4A semis, 3A finals. I'll just kind of go through the 3A finals real quick if I can remember them off the top of my head. Mount Vernon, which survived a heck of a scare on yesterday. They were in trouble, get late against Davenport Assumption, pulled it out 47-37. They host Mediapolis on Saturday. Solon, which has just been hammering everybody. Both their first 2 games in regions were something in the vicinity of 80-20. They'll play Sheraton. They'll host that one. I covered Center Point Urbana in West Delaware last night. CPU went on the road and won that one 58-44, and they go to number 7 Dubuque Wahlert in their regional final Saturday. And CPU's they were 2-10 at one point. Now they're 10-13 and playing really well. And the other 3A of area interest is the game I'll be at on Saturday, Monticello Benton Community.
2 hours and 15 minutes, by the way, to get from Victor to Coon Rapids.
Oh, that's not so bad.
No. And do you remember when Bayard High School was just Bayard High School? Do you remember the nickname?
Boy, that's been a long. Do you?
Yes, absolutely. When I was in
Oh,
high school, they were still Bayard. The
okay.
Bayard Red.
Coon
How
Rapids
about
is home of Ewing Cooley.
is that right?
I
Wow.
bet that was a heck of a rivalry back in the 50s.
There was a kid when I was a senior, way, way back in the day. I played in the Baseball Coaches Association All-Star Series down in Iowa City, and there was a kid from Bayard on the small school West, I guess the team would have been called then. So that's the only reason I know that. The Bayard
Is
Reds.
uh is that one of those schools? Are they on Highway 30 way out west? Are they a little bit north or south? No, I'm gonna have to look.
Got it right here. They are kind of between Ames and Des Moines from that standpoint, straight west.
Okay.
So if that makes any sense. Um,
Closer to the border, or it's closer to the
well,
border than it is Ames, Des Moines,
yes,
isn't it?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We're talking. That's still a little ways from the border, honestly. I bet it's
Uh-huh.
a good 2 hours from there to like Omaha. So
Okay.
yeah, I've never
What
been out that way, but nice,
I have
very nice.
not. Uh, let's see. Coon Rapids, and it's not showing me what county that's in, but okay, so it's a little northeast of Audubon.
There we go. The Wheelers.
That's right. Which does not have a girls team this year.
Really? Just
Yeah,
not
Audubon's
enough.
always been a really good girls basketball school. Frank Howell won a state championship there not too long before he came to Washington. They are playing under the IHSAA EHK umbrella this year.
So did that increase the class for
Yeah.
Xire?
Yep. They're 2A. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I was looking at that when I was doing mock brackets, and they had Xire EHK as a 2A school. And I went, what in the world? That's not a very big school. And I look back, and yeah, they're sharing with Audubon.
And we sure remember Elkhorn Kimballton, right? The Danes, weren't they the Danes? The
The
Danish?
Danes and Lady Danes, home of Jan Jensen.
That's right.
And yeah, they had some really good teams out there. They had some good teams out there after Jan graduated too. They had some girls that could really chuck it from long range.
Very good. She's got a son that is a sophomore at West. I think he's going to be a ball player. He dresses for the varsity games, but
Okay.
he doesn't play. I I assume I think there's what a quarter limit, right, for a
Okay.
day in football, right? When you can only play so many quarters. So he's playing 4 quarters of the sophomore game, and then might get
Dresses
in
for this.
late or something. So going to be a good ball player.
Good.
We
Well,
did have and I'll see what you think about this, Jeff. It was announced the other day that Des Moines Roosevelt, which is at a really good season, um, I don't know, 15-6, somewhere in that range, has had to forfeit 9 of its games because it used an ineligible player who was
age-wise, wasn't he?
age-wise, correct.
So he must have been 20 at
Yes,
least.
yes. And so that they lost to Linmar in the second half, so Linmar gets a extra win out of that. But they kept Roosevelt as a 3 seed in the sub-state. 3 out of 6 teams. With Ankeny, Centennial, Roosevelt's 3, Liberty's 4, Waterloo West is 5, and Indianola 6. What do you think about that?
Well, I certainly don't have a problem with them vacating those wins.
Right.
A rule's a rule, and it sounds like it wasn't the fault of the kid. I just kind of saw a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But as far as the pairings, I don't know. I guess I can see that either way. I mean, they're the same team if they're 7-14 or if they're 15-6. So
Yeah.
I guess I probably would have moved them, but that's just me.
Yeah, it was just interesting. You know, to see that. Actually we were kind of tipped off about it, honestly, at our rankings meeting on Monday morning. So the association knew about it back then, all the way back then. So unfortunate situation. Like I said,
Yeah.
Roosevelt's having a really nice season, and it's hard to compete as a Des Moines public school, obviously. But we'll see what the postseason brings, I
Yeah.
guess. So anything else that trips your trigger here?
Oh boy. When we meet next Thursday, we'll have the entire girls state bracket ready. We'll be getting close for the boys. Um, Boy, I don't know. We've kind of talked ad nauseum with
Yeah.
the conference situation up north. I don't think there's really been anything new since then. At least nothing that I'm privy to, unless you are.
No, absolutely not. I know
Yeah.
nothing, as Sergeant Schultz would say. From
Sometimes, sometimes that's all right. But
oh,
there's a
go ahead,
go.
Jeff.
No,
No,
I just had a bad transition coming. You go ahead.
okay. No, no, no. I did want to bring up um Co College's men's and women's teams are both 20-4 now. After a couple of they swept University of Dubuque last night. I was just noticing that, and I was like, man, that's a pretty good
Really
winner.
good. Are either or both of them ranked?
Yeah, the men were ranked in the top 25 and had a loss here. They might drop out because they got beat pretty bad the other night by Central at home. Um, but yeah, Co made it the NCAA tournament last year. Had a lot of guys back from that team, and obviously have pretty high goals, and women doing their thing too. So man, wouldn't it be something
Yeah.
for Co maybe to get to win the conference tournament and get in the NCAA tournament, both men's and women's basketball. So
Yeah, and I think I saw that they're ranked like third or fourth in D3 softball.
yes, I did. I think I saw that too. That's Jake Kuhlbeck doing a heck of a job there. That's nationally, folks.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they're
national.
they're they were third nationally last year, and they got just about everybody back, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Uh, so a lot of good things going on Quahog land over there on the northeast side, just off
Yeah.
First Avenue. So directions.
That's right.
All right, we probably should go so you can go have
Yeah, I
fun.
gotta put down some leftover tater tot casserole, and
Attaboy.
the chariot leaves here in about an hour and a half.
Enjoy it seriously. I mean, you've
Yeah,
seen
it'll be
history.
good. It'll be
Yeah.
good. You don't get to see this kind of thing very often, and
No,
it'll be good.
and
Hopefully
enjoy.
it happens fast though.
Yes, very much so. And I'm kind of thinking that it's going to. I think
I do
she's
too.
gonna.
This is the night I wouldn't be surprised if she went for 50. She
Well,
might,
that would be a hell of a way to break the record,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
she might have what the cool people call a 50 piece.
A 50 piece. Nice, nice.
Yeah. I will say
All you
this,
dancers out there.
grab a Gazette tomorrow. We've got, with the assumption that it's going to happen tonight, we've got a nice 4-page wrap going with that, and be sure to buy one.
Yes, please do, folks. Hard copy. Memento. So one other thing, real quick. Mark Carlson, the head coach of the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, 2 wins from tying the United States Hockey League coaching victory record, 3 from breaking it. Rough Riders played 3 times this week. They win all 3. He breaks the record. 781 wins he's got right now. Only coach that's ever been here. Developed a ton
Been
of
here a long
guys.
time.
Yeah, 99, 2000 was the first year. So it's been fun to reach out to a bunch of alums. this week, get their thoughts on playing for him. And he's a hard coach, but he loves his guys. And as he just told me once, you can't have tough love without the love. And I thought that was one of the best things I ever heard a coach say. So
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
so they play home Saturday night against Dubuque, or no, against Waterloo. So get out to the ice arena if you feel the volition, I guess. So, and Jeff, have fun tonight, folks. Get out, see some good high school basketball. A lot of important games coming up here in the next week and a half. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Call It Both Ways podcast, and we will speak at you again next week. Thank you.